Hello and welcome to Quarterlight, your car brochure channel. In today's episode, we're going to be looking at the Vauxhall Carlton. Hello and welcome back. And if you're new to Quarterlight, we're a car brochure channel here on YouTube, looking at car brochures from around the world for the 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s, and sometimes beyond that as well. So if you're interested in cars and car brochures, please consider subscribing. It really does help the channel greatly. Anyway, back to today's episode, where we'll be looking at this, the Vauxhall Carlton, your large family car. This particular brochure is a UK brochure from 1993, so getting right at the end of the Carlton run there. And I picked this one today because the range is really very vast and it's an interesting brochure, so let's have a look at that now. And here is that brochure. At the top there, you probably can't make it out. In fact, I don't think the camera's even showing it. Right at the very, very top, the 1993 models edition number 2. So this is the 1993 model range. Nice front image of the Carlton, a little Vauxhall badge right down the bottom there. Let's just zoom in a little bit near on that front cover. So the actual date of this brochure is April 93, and of course this is going to make this the Mark II Vauxhall Carlton, which went from 1986 to 1994, so the end of the run. And of course we can see some nice little treatments to clear indicators, and this particular example has got some rather nice headlamp wipers on there as well. When it was launched, actually, as Mark II in 86, it actually won European Car of the Year, which is very interesting. And I picked this particular brochure because the range in here, or the different models in here, are vast. It's amazing how many different variations of Carlton and the different spec levels for each different one is. In some ways it doesn't make any sense actually, but we'll come to that in a moment. So let's open the brochure and have a look inside. And here is the front page of a rather nice Carlton looking out into the sea. One thing I should mention is I said the range is vast. The brochure is vast as well, so obviously we're not going to spend too much time on each page. I really want to concentrate on the range itself, the different variations, so that's what we're going to move on to now. So our journey starts here, and a bit unusually this brochure, it starts off with this flagship model, the Lotus Carlton, and then it goes to the base model and then it moves up the range again, so that's a little bit different. But obviously the Lotus Carlton is a car, kind of like a bit of a one-off car really, isn't it? You know, launched in 1990, a real high performance version of the Lotus Carlton. So let's look at some of the text and we'll zoom in a bit better on some of these images. So it starts off by telling us in making the Lotus Carlton, the aim was simple, to create the finest performance saloon in the world. And there's a little image of the engine. Taking the superb Carlton GSI as a starting point, Lotus applied their legendary engineering expertise to creating a powerful engine. The results, with 6 cylinders, 24 valves, 3.6 litres, 2 turbochargers, 377 PS and massive 419 Newton meters of torque, is a hugely impressive, but mere figures can only hint at its vast potential. To tame these huge power and torque outputs, Lotus then turned their attention to the chassis and brakes, uprating and tuning both systems to competition car standards. The final step was the creation of a sumptuous full leather interior and a body that is both beautiful and aerodynamically efficient. The resulting car is simply stunning. And then I guess we should just pause a moment to look at that interior. Lots of black leather, but nothing too out of the ordinary really. Performance Car described it as astonishingly quick, while Autocar and Motor thought the performance staggering. Obviously, in a car of such potential, safety takes on a new importance. Braking performance is well up to the task, simply the best brakes we've ever encountered on a road car, autocar and motor, and chassis behaviour too. It sticks to the road like feathers to tar. Performance car. So how do you sum up the most special of all Vauxhalls, made in strictly limited numbers and sold only through 17 specialist dealers? Performance car decided it is one of the safest, least demanding, most totally practical supercars in the world, while What Car went further still. It's the best saloon car in the world. It seems that our aim has been achieved with room to spare. So quite some claims there. Let's have a look at some of the images. And as we're here anyway, we might as well just look at this very tiny picture of the rear of the Carlton with this huge wing on the back. And then a little bit of an idea what that bonnet looks like with them louvers. But I've just zoomed into the front of the main image, those huge wheels. You can see the wipers on there, that big bumper on the front, little Lotus badge on the side there as well. You just might make those louvers out on the bonnet area. And the rear showing that wing. So obviously this was kind of like the car you aspired to have, but certainly not many people owned it because, well, it wasn't exactly a cheap car. I think roughly when it was launched in 1990 it was around about £48,000 at launch, and that was pretty much double the price of kind of like a standard model. So as you can expect, not many people bought these, but certainly it probably attracted more people to buy the more standard versions of a Carlton. I mean, this thing could do over 176 miles per hour, and you know, it was based on that GSI, as it's told you there in the description. It was, however, a very special car. That doing over 176 miles per hour made it officially at the time the fastest four-seater ever made. And you know, we always look back and we always think about cars like the Cosworth Sierras and the Cosworth Sierra Sapphires. This was a far faster vehicle. But of course, Quarterlight isn't about those fantastic performance cars. It's really about the ordinary car, and our journey for the Carlton starts here with the Carlton Club. Think of this as not even an L, but very weirdly spec'd. Some things it hasn't got that the L has. Some things it's got some like little nice extras, and this is only available as an estate. You'll find some of these models, they're only available as an estate or a saloon. This particular one, the Club, only an estate. Like I said, a really weird model, very much a Quarterlight model, because in reality it's not even an L, but then we had some funny little features. So let's have a look at this model now. Huge brochure this, so we don't have time to read the entire text on this, but starting with this main image, an unusual model, the Club. We get the Club badge under the side indicator. We get these rather nice alloy wheels though, they do look very nice. A few little key points, I guess, to say it is a lonely model. We do get these black rear view mirrors though, don't we? Available with two engines, either 2 litre injection or a 2.3 litre turbo diesel, and like I say, only available as an estate. Interior wise though, it is very plain, quite basic. It looks very similar to a Carlton L from that dashboard picture. And then as we look at the inside, the seats do look very nice. One key point, other than, yeah, you do get headrests all round, which is a nice safety feature, but one of the key points is you didn't get a centre armrest for the driver and passenger, which is weird. So the rest of the range had like a bit of like a cubby box that you could open up and a nice padded top so you could rest your arms on. Club didn't get that, so kind of like a reminder that this really was a basic model that wasn't even an L. It was nicely spec'd though for a base model, there's no doubt about it. We're not like thinking about, you know, 80s bass Sierra features here. It is quite nicely spec'd. We do get a velour trim, which is nice, lumbar and height adjustable driver's seat, front and rear head restraints, split folding rear seat back, a rev counter and instrument panel light dimmer, leather covered steering wheel. You didn't get a leather covered steering wheel on the L. This very basic radio though, SC201 security coded stereo radio cassette player with 6 speakers. It was okay. You got a better stereo radio cassette on the L though. Tiltable steering column, 5-speed gearbox, those rather nice alloy wheels and low profile tyres. We get ABS, electrically operated front windows, central locking, slide tiltable glass sunroof, green tinted glass, roof rails, rear roof aerial, heated windscreen, washer nozzles, intermittent tailgate wash wipe, twin internal adjustable door mirrors, 2-coat metallic pearlescent paint at no extra cost. So, not bad at all. We also get this, rear suspension levelling adjustment, pump it up, and a map reading light. So not badly spec, but let's just have a look at that interior again. Like I say, a pretty basic radio. The L model does have a better radio than this. So let's turn the page and look at the Carlton L. The Carlton L. Let's zoom in on this image. So there we go, the Carlton L, and of course the first thing you really notice, we'd back down to having wheel trims now on the L, but we've still got a sunroof, no wipers on the lights or anything like that. Very plain model really. Let's have a look at some of the text and learn what this model's got. So first of all, it is available as a saloon or an estate, this one. Same engine choices though, that 2 litre injection and that 2.3 litre turbo diesel. It's telling us we've still got velour trim, driver's seat adjustable for rake, height and lumbar, open type front and rear head restraints, height adjustable front and rear inertia seat belts, split folding rear seat back, rev counter and instrument panel light dimmer, quartz clock and cigar lighter, electrically operated front windows, tiltable steering, a better radio, an SC303 with RDS, Dolby B and 6 speakers, and a cassette storage area, front and rear door courtesy light switches, courtesy light delay off, rear screen aerial in the saloon and flexible rear roof mounted aerial for the estate, 5-speed gearbox, rear suspension levelling on the estate and low profile tyres. We also get power assisted steering, electronic anti-lock brakes, green tinted glass, sliding tiltable glass sunroof with interior blind and electric headlamp levelling system. And then finally roof rails for the estate, central door locking and security deadlocks and car key torch, twin jet heated windscreen washer nozzles and tailgate wash wipe for the estate. So only an L, but reasonably well equipped I think. So a couple of things jump out at me straight away on this L model. We do get this sort of like little box with a nice place to rest your arms, which was weird that it wasn't on that club model. Imagine it'd make it quite uncomfortable having nowhere to rest your arms on that model. And of course we do get that better stereo radio now. Steering wheel however is not leather wrapped, so that club model was a really strange model. And then we do get a few extra images of the L, that nice sort of like rear fold down armrest. A glimpse of how the L model looks, this time in white. And at the bottom here, this nice little feature of being able to actually fold down the rear seat to have a longer objects in there or reach something through, which is quite nice. Now the range starts to become a bit more logical. We're getting the Carlton GL. So the GL now, a few features that jump out at me straight away. We've got the colour coordinated door mirrors, bit of a nicer wheel trim, although it is still just a wheel trim. We've got headlamp wipe, and we've got these like fog lamps on the bumper there, which of course the L or the club didn't have. And there is also a rear view for this particular GL model. Same engine choices at 2 litre or the 2.3 litre diesel, turbo diesel, available again as a saloon or estate. And then the interior, we'll certainly look at them images, but first let's start looking at some of the features. So we've now got a Paris velour trim, front seat adjustable for rake height and lumbar, 5-position tiltable steering column, rev counter and instrumentation panel light dimmer, split folding rear seat back. Oh, I suppose we should just have a look at this while we're going down here. That's the estate version for the GL. Very nice. Illuminated passenger vanity mirror. Better stereo radio again, this time it's an SC804. Quartz clock and cigar lighter. Electrically operated front and now rear as well windows. Sliding tiltable glass sunroof with sliding interior blind. And roof rails for the estate and central locking. We also got those integral halogen front fog lamps, which we spotted, power assisted steering, ABS, twin electrically adjustable and heated body coloured now door mirrors, and that headlamp wash wipe and electrical headlamp levelling, green tinted glass and windscreen shade band, fancy, heated windscreen washer nozzles and 2-coat metallic or pearlescent paint available at extra cost. And there is that interior shot with that higher spec stereo radio. Those interior of those seats in that Paris velour trim. Quite like them. They're a lighter colour actually with the door coins. Certainly brightens up the interior, I think. There's that illuminated passenger vanity mirror. And then finally, that wash wipe system for the lights. And then quite logically we go up to the Carlton CD now. Think of the CD as like Vauxhall's equivalent of a gear, I think it's around there. Probably, when you think about price points, it's probably where you should be at, I think, because there is a lot more to come actually, but I kind of think this is what the vehicle that I would have chosen, but there is a lot better models to come, like I say. But let's zoom in on this image. And I do actually remember this particular colour. Actually, it was one of my favourite colours in Vauxhall at the time. It looks like silver. I think it's called Rembrandt silver actually, but it's almost like got a little bit of a goldy tinge in some lights, and I quite like that colour. Anyway, that's just my opinion. We can see the badge, the CD badge under that repeater again. These are rather nice alloys. I quite like them. I think they really do suit the car, and of course, like the model below it, we've got headlamp wipe. We've got those fog lamps. We've got that colour coordinated rear view mirror. But let's have a look at a few more images. There is the rear. Kind of gives you an idea of how it was badged at the back. And I always remember how long the scripts got, the higher you got up the range. I always quite like those sorts of almost like a darkened tinge to those rear lights as well. Same engine choices again and again. You could have it as a saloon or an estate. And then what do we get? So we get Ascot velour trim this time. A similar sort of adjustable rake height lumbar for the seats. Front type, front and rear head restraints. Split folding rear seat. Again, we go up with a better stereo radio. Interesting, isn't it? How every model gets a different stereo radio. Tiltable steering column. Wood veneer inserts on door panels and gear lever surround now. So, like I say, think gear. Although I think a lot of gears in Ford range didn't get any alloy wheels, but let's just brush over that. Power assisted steering, electric anti-lock braking system, integral front fog lamps, electrically operated front and rear windows. Ooh, we got a catalytic converter, central locking, those nice alloy wheels, green tinted glass with graduated tint windscreen shade band, electrically operated sliding tiltable glass sunroof, a fancy alarm system, twin electrically adjustable and heated body coloured door mirrors, electric headlamp levelling system, headlamp wash wipe, integral long range halogen driving lights, twin jet heated windscreen washer nozzles, roof rails on the estate, and 2-tone metallic and pearlescent at extra cost. Why it keeps adding that at the end, I'm not sure. That's a glimpse at that alarm sensor. The very practical version of the Carlton CD this time. The electric sunroof. Here we have the interior again. That stereo radio is uprated from the previous model. We also get this nicer designed steering wheel. These very comfortable looking seats and wood inserts. I think there is just another little image of this particular fancy sophisticated audio stereo system with RDS, cassette player and CD player with auto changer. And like I say, I've been very happy with the CD, but there is higher models. This is now the CDX. In my mind, I'm kind of like thinking Gear X for a Ford. Different petrol choices this time. There isn't a diesel option, but there is that 2-litre injection you can get. Now you can actually get a 2.6 injection. So that was certainly an upgrade. Again, you could have it as in a saloon or an estate. From the front, I'm not noticing anything looks particularly different, although at the side there you can certainly see that CD badge, and I always remember the X was in red. Let's have a look at some of the features. So features, we've got the Ascot velour trim. You kind of expect the X model would have leather, but it doesn't. Electrically heated front seats with lumbar and height adjustments. A 4870 stereo radio. A compact disc player. 6 speakers. Boot mounted 10 disc auto changer. All the fancy. Illuminated driver and passenger vanity mirrors with covers. A glimpse at the CDX estate there, very fancy. Wood veneer inserts on door panels and gear lever surround. Leather trimmed steering wheel. 7-function trip computer. We've also got ABS. Electric front and rear windows. Power assisted steering. Integral halogen front fog lamps. And long range halogen driving lights. Integral with headlamps. Headlight levelling. Headlamp wash wipe. Nice alloy wheels. Cruise control. Security alarm. Central lock-in, electrically operated sliding tiltable glass sunroof with interior blind, and those paint choices are optional. Interior, again like the CD, looks very nice. Here is a glimpse at the interior with that fancy stereo radio, that similar steering wheel to the CD model. And obviously we've got that wood around the gear lever there, and it looks like we've got a little bit of like a trip computer here as well now, so let's have a look at that. So there we go, 7-function trip computer, and the heated front seats that this model has. But you think you're finished there. CDX, you think, oh, that's enough really, you know, give it optional leather seats and that's pretty much a top range model. But no, there's another 3 more models yet. This one is the Carlton Diamond, which I must admit I do not remember at all, so let's learn a bit more about it. Starting with a look at the rear of the estate, and in fact it's only available as an estate model. And you know how cluttered the rear were with badges. Here it just says Vauxhall Carlton, very unusual. We get these unusual alloy wheels, quite sporty alloy wheels actually for an estate model. And I think the badging, although it's hard to make out, I think it just says on there diamond. Maybe we'll see a better image of that in a moment. But yes, we do get leather seats now. And we do still get lots of wood. Here is showing an automatic. And the interior. You can see that steering with that unusual diamond badge on there. Again, there's that alarm sensor. The electric sunroof. And what have we got here? Ultrasonic security alarm and electric sunroof are part of the comprehensive Diamond package. Air conditioning is standard on the 3-litre 24-valve model and option on the 2-litre injection. So yes, a big engine model on this one, so you can get that 2-litre injection again, but now you can get a 3-litre 24-valve. Interesting. So we get these leather seats, we get heated sports front seats, air conditioning standard on the 3-litre, optional on the 2-litre. We've got the SC303 radio cassette player this time. 5-speed gearbox standard on the 2-litre, no cost option on the 3-litre. And then the auto standard on the 3-litre, extra cost option on the 2-litre. Alloy wheels, ABS, electric front and rear windows, central locking, alarm, electric sunroof, and we get 2-coat metallic pearlescent paint, no cost option. And the other models have actually had 2 pages for each model. This has only got 1 page, so let's see what the next model is. So next model up is the Carlton Diplomat. Now this is available as a 2-litre or a 2.6, but this time only available as a saloon, no estate Diplomat. So here we go, we can see the obvious things, but under that indicator we've got that Diplomat badge. Like I said, there wasn't really any close-up shot of the diamond, but I presume the diamond badge was there for the previous model. Quite nice alloy wheels, I think it really quite suits this particular model. But let's turn the page and see what sort of specs this one has. So I'm going to say this is really your top luxury car. You've got leather seats, although you can have a velour at a reduced cost. I probably would do because I'm not a huge fan of leather, but they do look very nice, the leather seats, and we'll see them in a moment. Electrically heated front seats, leather trimmed steering wheel, a 4870 stereo radio, 7-function trip computer, another little image of the Diplomat, illuminated driver and passenger vanity mirrors with covers, wood veneer inserts on door panels and gear shift surround, full air conditioning including gearbox, electric ABS, electrically operated front and rear windows, catalytic converter, 4-speed auto with economy, sport and winter driving modes, 5-speed manual gearbox available as a no cost option, integrated halogen front fog lamps, alloy wheels, cruise control, ultrasonic alarm, central locking with security deadlocks, electrically operated sunroof, 2-coat metallic and pearlescent paint at no extra cost. Here is a look at that interior of that automatic gearbox and the steering wheel, this time with the Diplomat badge. There is that wood surround auto, and there is that high quality sound system. And here are the seats, which do actually look very nice and very comfortable. And then finally, the final model in the range, and like I say, it was vast, wasn't it? The Carlton GSI 3000, only available as a saloon, but I guess if you wanted the estate, you'd go for that a Carlton Diamond, wouldn't you, with that 3-litre engine? But this is the main sporty model, the GSI, so let's zoom in on that now. So we've got these unique alloy wheels, bit of a boot spoiler on there, and sort of these skirts going around it. And of course, like I said at the start there, this was the car that the Lotus Carlton was based on. We do get a nice little image of the engine there, 3-litre 24-valve, and a quite nice looking sporty interior with this stripes going down it here. That looks quite nice. Certainly brightens it up a bit, gives you the image of being sporty. A look at that interior. I presume it says GSI in the steering wheel. Let's just zoom in a bit more. Oh, actually it says Carlton GSI 3000. That's quite nice. You know, kind of like makes it more expensive, doesn't it? Every model having a different writing on the steering wheel. That's certainly a little bit unusual. We also got a nice little rear of the Carlton there, just to give you an idea what the badge looks like. So features include Arizona cloth, leather trim. Okay, so the sides are leather on the seats. Oop, that's a back up a little bit, apologies for that. Front seats adjustable for rake height and lumbar support. Analog instrumentation, or you can get a liquid crystal display LCD instrumentation as an option. So obviously that's your standard dash with a normal analog. And then down the bottom here, if you did option for it, which I've never seen, I must admit, that is the LCD option version. You've also got a 7-function trip computer. Oop, I go right to the top there. 4080 stereo radio cassette, electrically operated tilt and slide sunroof, a 204 PS 3 litre 24 valve engine, 5-speed gearbox, this time it's a close ratio. You've also can option a computer controlled 4-speed automatic, which seems a bit of a strange one for this particular car. ABS, limited slip differential, power assisted steering, uprated sport suspension with gas pressure dampers, nice alloy wheels, central locking, ultrasonic security alarm, all the great stuff. And really this was your model you wanted. I mean, there wouldn't have been many people that could have afforded the Lotus Carlton. Really, if you wanted a sporty model, the GSI 3 litre was the model for you. Specification time, and really we've been through all the specifications as we've been going through the brochure, apart from this, the performance and fuel economy. So overall, you know, your basic 2 litre was doing 121 miles per hour, 0 to 62 in 11.5 seconds, and getting sort of 44.8 at a constant 56. And then going down to your diesel versions, they were topping out at 112, 12.5 0 to 60, and around about 51.4 at your constant 56. And then finally your performance versions, so your manual 3 litre, top speed 149, so it wasn't a slow car. Like I said, did you really need that Lotus Carlton? 0 to 62 in 7.6 seconds, constant 56 you're doing 37.2, which wasn't too bad. But you can even get that 3 litre as an estate if you get that diamond one, can't you? And that was still doing 143, 0 to 60 in 8.2, so certainly not as fast as the saloon. And your 56 was doing around about 35.8 miles per gallon. But you know, if you want to pause the screen and look at that in more detail, you certainly can do. And there you've got the publication date of April 93, and we do actually get a bit of a dealer stamp. It's hard to make it out though. Looks like Frost Cars Limited in Heath, wherever that is. And there's a little Vauxhall badge at the end. So there we go, the Vauxhall Carlton for 1993. And yeah, I've gone way over my time limit. It's probably approaching one of my longest videos, but I think it was important to look at all those different models to show how vast the range was, nearing the end of the Carlton name. Thank you so much for watching. If you do remember these cars, please jot that in the comments. Also mention which is your favourite. Easy to say the Lotus Carlton, but sometimes you have to be a bit more sensible. I'm sure that GSI 3 litre would be more than enough for most people. And if you wanted luxury, there was plenty of luxury models there. I think I would have been quite happy with the CD, really. I think it's a very nicely spec car. But like I say, thank you so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe if you've not done already. Many more car brochure reviews to come in the near future. So for now, we'll say take care, all the best, and we'll see you very soon. Goodbye.